Now, what is going on, well, my junk haulers from the West Coast to the East Coast and down south? It's Matt and the JoJo, and we're back with another one. And today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to tell you some trash stories about some of our biggest jobs we ever tackled.
Yep, and we're excited to bring that to you because it really brings back memories. Talking about some of the older jobs that we did and the big ones, the ones that were kind of crazy. It's fun to share junk removal stories. And if you have a story to add or a question, make sure you put it in the comments and we'll do our best to answer it. And like if we're telling you a story and you can relate because the same thing or something similar happened to you, share that. Share it.
And then one thing we want to show you is a find that we found at a job this week. We went to a customer's house and she had the coolest stuff there ever.
She did.
She had some hot rods in the garage, a bunch of G.I. Joes inside these cases, a bunch of Transformers, all kinds of like little kid toys and baseball cards that were autographed. Her husband passed away. And she told me and the JoJo and the Julio, do you guys want anything that's in here? And I was like, you know what? That helmet right there, I would like that. Yeah. And guess what happened? She gave me this helmet. It's from the 1920s or 1930s. Check that out.
Super cool.
And we're going back there on Monday. And I'm going to let the lady know too. Anything you don't want, me and the Julio and the JoJo will come back with some boxes and take it away for free.
Take it. Yeah. She had a lot of stuff. So her husband collected like military memorabilia. So she has all kinds of soldiers and collectibles, and they're behind this glass case. Really neat. And then she had a whole other case that was full of sports memorabilia, and this was on one of the shelves. So that's what we took. And old cars. Like, oh my gosh. How expensive was that car? One of the cars?
I would say at least $60,000 to $70,000. It was an old Chevy. Then she had a Chevy truck too that was cherried out, candy red. Yeah, she had some badass stuff. She owned, how many businesses did she own?
Well, throughout her lifetime, I don't know, but they had at least 2 in Calistoga.
They were balling, let me tell you.
Beautiful, beautiful house.
Now, make sure you guys smash that like button, and we're going to get into the video. And today was a busy day. We knocked out 4 loads today by what, noon?
By noon.
By noon.
We were home by noon.
And here's a little tip for you guys too. If you ever come across any pots and plants and stuff like that, don't ever dump them. People will come and pick them up for free. There was a house that we cleaned out. There's a video coming out on Sunday, and this person was a plant hoarder. Let me tell you, there was so many damn plants there, and we were able to get rid of them for free. So that was awesome.
And those are heavy. They were big. They were ceramic. A lot of them were ceramic with the dirt, and then one was a palm tree. So yeah, we loaded them up on the back of the dump truck, took a picture of it, and just put for free. And I mean, yeah, you know, we could have sold them, but we want to just get rid of them quickly. And so we don't even have to unload them off the dump truck. And they were gone within the first hour of coming home.
No BS. I put them online, and within 2 minutes, I was getting people hitting me up like, what's your address? I can come right now. What's your address? And they were like at my house within an hour, loading them up to their truck. So they were happy. I'm happy. No dump fee. And it's a win-win situation.
Yep. So we're going to share with you one of our very first big job. The very first big job we ever tackled. And remember, we didn't have a dump truck. We didn't even have a trailer that dumped. We just had a pickup truck and a utility trailer. So, you know, this big job.
So this is a new style video. So let us know if you guys like it. So it all started in 2018. I got this phone call from a lady. She was living in San Francisco. She owned a property in Cloverdale, California. and there were squatters there taking over. She told me, "Man, it's a big job. Can you swing by there and take a look and give me a price?" And remember, I'm brand new in the game. I just have my pickup truck and my utility trailer. I'm still working at Safeway, the grocery store. So after work, I went over there with the JoJo. This job was a big ass job. And there was so much trash there. I was overwhelmed. I was like, you know what? I don't want to tackle this job.
It was huge. It was huge. And I remember you saying that. And I was like, well, if we want to, be big, you got to do big things. So we tackled it, and we didn't sub it out.
No, so
yeah.
So what happened was I was like, JoJo, I don't want to tackle this job. She's like, "Man, we got to do it. We got to do this." So I walked around the property and I calculated the job, and I was way off on the price. I think I charged like $4,000 for the whole job. And I found out later on that 1-800 got junk quoted the job like $15,000 or something like that. So when you first start in the trash business, trust me, you will mess up and underbid a job. So I was working that job after I was getting off work at Safeway. So I was running over there, doing loads in my little utility trailer, and we actually rented a dumpster too.
Yeah, we rented a dumpster. It was our very, very first time to do something like that. And we were careful. There was so much stuff on the property. We broke everything down that went into the dumpster. We separated all the metal. And at that time, you could recycle plastic. And there was so much plastic at this job.
Now, let's get into the good stuff, JoJo. So I gave the lady the price. She gave me the go and said, "Matt, let's get the job done." So the first day, me and the JoJo show up there with my pickup truck in the trailer. And I pull up, and what's there? There's a squatter burning some wood in the front yard. I'm like, who in the hell is this guy here? And he looked at me. He had a shoestring around his neck with a seashell on there. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, "Pretty good. We're here to clean the property up." And guess what? He didn't run and take off. He started helping us load the trash. And I was like, hell yeah, free labor.
That's what he did. But like fire on the property, it was really sketch. It was kind of scary.
So that was the first day. We're loading up the utility trailer, my pickup truck. We're putting trash in the utility trailer, metal in the back of the pickup truck so we can recycle it. And we had free labor that day. And then I remember looking upstairs. It was a 2-story house. And there's this one squatter up there peeking out like this, looking to see who the hell's out there and stuff. I'm like, "Hey, we're just here to clean the property, da, 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 da." And we ended up tackling the outside. It might have took like, I think, a week to do the outside. So imagine a week to clean the outside of this property. So I underbid the job. But I was happier than a pig and shit, because I never made that kind of money in 1 month.
Yeah.
And I was going back and forth there. I think it took a whole month to make that $4,000. I think the dump fees were around what, $800?
I don't remember.
So I way underbidded that job, underbidded it. And at this job too, I remember the JoJo found her first.
I was just going to say that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I found my very first a crack pipe. I didn't even know, like I'd never seen one before.
JoJo's like, "What's this?" I said, "Put that shit down."
This is? Yeah, I've never seen that before. And it was my first time to do a messy job where under the kitchen sink is where the cat crap was. It was just that it was used as kitty litter for like 5 years.
So we were tackling that job, throwing stuff off the ledge. I had a dumpster there too. We were breaking everything down. And JoJo actually found a picture of some guy that was naked with his pecker hanging out. I don't know who the hell that guy was. But
it's my first time for that. Finding something like that at a job.
It was crazy. But we ended up tackling that job. We didn't make what we should have made. And I actually went back there. I think it was like the last 2 days I went back there. And I was grabbing stuff out of the bushes, and I got poison oak. So I had poison oak all over my body. I even grabbed some stuff I shouldn't have grabbed. There's some like tree branches on the side of the hill. I grabbed those too. I was going all out. So, but the good part was the lady called us back like 2 months later and said, "Matt, you know what? I want you guys to come over there and rip that ceiling down." There was a hole in the ceiling. She wanted us to rip the whole ceiling down. I was like, "You know what? we can do that. I had no idea how to price the job. I told her we can do it for $4,000. And guess how long it took? It took 5 hours. I sent the redneck over there. He laid some tarps down. I'm at another job, knocking another job out. I'm heading that way. This is like 2 months later. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be there. He's like, hey, it's already done. We just got to clean up. I'm like, holy shit. We did that like in 5 hours, JoJo. Yeah. So we lost a little bit, but we got it back.
You got it back.
We was winning that day.
You were learning how to bid.
Yeah, I hit him with that price. Yeah. So that was our very first job. That was huge. And so remember, when you show up to those big jobs, don't get overwhelmed thinking, oh, I can't tackle this. Get in there and get it done.
Yeah, for sure. We have, that's fire. Can't wait until I get my first big job. Well, it'll come to you. It'll come to you. So another junk story we have is, and this is another one that was all the way back when you just had your truck, and you did have the dump trailer this time.
Yeah, just got the dump trailer. So
got this job from a realtor. And when all was said and done, because it was a lot of loads, because it was acreage, there was a lot of stuff there, and squatters again, more squatters that just wouldn't leave. So that was challenging. But when all was said and done, that was a $40,000 job.
It was a $40,000 job. So imagine I'm working at Safeway, only making $2,000 a month, and all of a sudden I land a $40,000 job. In my first couple years in the trash business, that is life-changing money. I've never thought I'd make that kind of money in 1 month. Imagine $2,000 a month to making $40,000 in 1 month. So this job was in Hillsburg, California. There were squatters there. And the cool part about it was 5 minutes from the dumps. And let me tell you again, I underbid that job because back in the day, I didn't know how to charge for a full load. I was charging like $5.49 per load, which is super cheap out here in California. So, and one thing that happened too when we're at that job that I learned is be careful who you hire. I hired someone and he tried to snatch the job from me. So what happened was he was there working with us, doing a bunch of loads and stuff. And the realtor hit me up and said, hey, Matt, make sure you know who's working with you. I said, why? She said, the guy tried to steal the job from you and slipped a business card to the owner, said he can do loads cheaper.
Yep.
I was like, oh, hell no.
Yep.
So I never use that guy again. So always remember, there's snakes in the grass when it comes to money, and people get greedy. So that was a huge job. I think you tackled it. That guy that tried to steal the job, my brother tackled it. Baby Jesus tackled it. There were so many people on that job, but it was a good paying job.
It was
even
great.
Though I underbid the job.
Yeah, it was great. Great learning experience.
And it's crazy because the guy that owned the property, his dad passed away. Some people squatted on the property. This guy was working at Straw Hat Pizza, barely making any money, and they sold the property for over 1.5 mil.
Yeah.
And now he bought a house out there in Oregon. So his life changed really fast. He was working at the pizza place, and all of a sudden he sold the property.
Yep.
It was a millionaire, JoJo.
A
millionaire overnight.
Yep. They moved out of California.
So someone said, what happened to the redneck? I think the redneck is in Kentucky, probably doing handyman stuff over there.
Oh, and then we have the electric Fiero.
Oh, so check this one out.
Great story.
This is why you always want to answer your phone no matter what. I was coming back from hunting in Arizona, and my phone rang. Ring, 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 ring. I said, hello. This is Matthew with Sonoma Strong Hauling. How can I help you? It was an older gentleman. He was like, hey, I got a 1980 Fiero over here at my house. I'm moving out of state. Pick and Pull won't take it because it has a bunch of batteries in it. I said, a bunch of batteries in it? He's all, yeah, I made it electric. I made it an electric vehicle. I was like, okay, so I'll take a look at it. I can swing by there once I get back in town. So me and the JoJo driving over there, not thinking nothing. And what happened when we opened that garage?
Oh, when he opened up the garage, we were shocked that it was in mint condition, absolutely beautiful, Fiero. And when he started it up and took off, it went really fast. Like it was a fast car. And we were just, we were just shocked. Like, we wanted to know more about the story, because why are you going to pay us to take this? But like Matt said, he had injured his shoulder and he wasn't able to get the batteries out himself. And they wouldn't, Pick and Pull wouldn't come and take the car because of the batteries. So he just, wanted to make sure that we would take it and handle it. And he literally the very next day drove it to our house, gave it to us, and paid us to take it.
So there was around $7,000 worth of batteries in that thing. I charged the guy $349 to take the vehicle, and he came to my house, signed over the pink slip, and he said, here you go. Do whatever you want to do with it. My dad sold cars forever. And he's like, Matt, I have never had anyone give me a vehicle and pay me to take it. You got a strong hustle. So you never know what can happen in the trash business. And I actually sold that vehicle to a guy out there in Indiana for $2,700. So what I did was I joined a bunch of Fiero groups on Facebook, and I found someone that wanted that vehicle.
Yeah.
And they were happy. So some guy that does hot shot came over by the house, and that vehicle is in Indiana now. It's the vehicle you guys see in the intro sometimes of our videos.
Yep. You'll see it. Really nice looking car. It was very exciting part of junk removal to get something like that.
Oh, it was really cool.
We had a job, and the street was called Happy Valley.
So this was a huge job. What was it, 2 years ago when Julio came full time? So check it out. I got a phone call from a customer. He said, hey, Matt, can you meet me at 7 o'clock? My father-in-law has a bunch of stuff on the property and it needs to go. I said, yeah, I can meet you at 7 o'clock. So I'm heading over there. Me and the JoJo are in the truck, showing up, saying, hey, how's it going? I'm Matt with Sonoma Strong Hauling. What do you have? Not knowing it was going to be a huge job.
Huge.
So we showed up there, and he liked us because I had a Facebook boost running at the time. He screenshotted it, showed it to his wife, and he didn't like the way Junk King went over there and bid the job. They wouldn't really give them a price. They kept switching up stuff on him. Mm-hmm. He said, you know what? I like you guys. How many loads do you think are here? I said, well, I really can't see that good. It's getting kind of dark. I would say around 30 loads-ish. And it ended up being like, 50-something loads?
Yeah, but to be fair, they kept adding things. It's a job that went on forever. But it was a hoarder situation on the outside of the house. The person was a collector of trains, and he had so many trains, and he had tracks, and he even had like a little outside train. He didn't throw anything away ever. And there was a huge deck, and you couldn't even see the deck. There was that much stuff on it. So there was so much stuff to get rid of. And we were just doing load after load after load. And just when we thought we were almost done, they're like, by the way, we're knocking this whole deck down. So can you carry that off? And we're like, sure. And it was one of our hardest jobs because in the backyard, all the things that had to go, the only way you could get it out was down this huge steep hill. So we were throwing things down the hill, and then the person at the bottom of the hill was grabbing the things and then loading it into the truck. And that was what we had to do.
So we had to time it right too, making sure no vehicles were rolling by. Person down below or two people down below saying, hey, it's all good, toss it down. And we would toss stuff down this hill we call Goat Hill. It was like 30 or 40 feet down the hill.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because this is when Julio came full time. I think he's been working with us full time for a month, and all of a sudden we land this huge ass job.
Yeah, we're like, if you're gonna quit, you're gonna probably quit now.
Yeah, but you know what? The Julio, he manned up. He was up and down that hill like a billy goat. And we got the job done.
Yeah.
And actually, we had another junk crew come out. My boy from Three Kings Hauling came out and helped us tackle a few loads.
Yes.
So it was a huge job. And like the JoJo said, we thought we were done. We're like, you know what? We're done with that hill. We never got to go back there again. We got paid. We're good. Then I got a phone call a week later. Hey, Matt, do you mind coming by and removing all this deck wood that we have? I was like, yeah, we can remove, we can come by and take it. I go over there and it's a huge deck. Huge. I think the deck was like 6 loads itself. Then we get done with that. Then a couple weeks later, we're happy. And then I get another phone call. I'm like, hello. Hey, Matt, we removed some brush and some trees. You mind coming back over here and loading these up? And we thought we were done with the job. So damn happy, never see the hill again. Then me and the Julio went back there and hauled all that stuff away.
And that was a lot of stuff because there was a lot of trees and they needed to just, they couldn't get insured until stuff like that was taken care of. So it was a lot.
Because out here in California, there's a lot of fires going on and they wanted to get the house insured and they couldn't get, fire insurance to take care of it?
Fire insurance.
So we had to tackle all this stuff. So it was a crazy big job. So make sure you guys always answer your phone. You never know when that big job's going to hit.
Yeah, they'll either tell you on the phone that it's a really big job, or you'll go to give an estimate and you'll show up and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting this. Because that's happened to us a few times where we show up to a job and we weren't expecting it to be that big. And we're like, oh, holy crap. Like there's a lot of loads here. Always answer your phone because like Matt said, you never know when that big one's coming.
It's like the one person didn't answer their phone when we got the job for Forever 21. So another junk caller that they normally use didn't answer the phone. So they called the next person up on the Google Maps, and that was us. And that was another big job we landed.
Yep. Yeah.
Forever 21.
Forever 21.
Let's talk about the last one we did, JoJo.
Today's?
The big one. No, not today's. The big job. The hoarder house. The one we didn't think we were going to get. And they called us up and said, oh, you got the job.
That's not even on my paper. I do have a quick thing, though. He says, I get like 5 calls a day from Google. That's good. Can you leave a comment and let us know how are they finding you on Google? Is it through your Google business profile or is it through your website? Because I'm curious.
He might be saying he gets 5 phone calls from those people saying, hey, your Google, my business is not verified right now.
Oh, that could be it. Because once you start this business, or really it's probably any business, once you start a business, that's all they'll do is call you and bug you forever. And Monican, hi Monican, can't wait to see you at the Junk Expo. And they're posting a lot of stuff. So their name is in for the win $1,000 at the Junk Expo.
So how's that working, JoJo? Break it down to the viewers.
Well, if you're coming to the Junk Expo and you follow us on socials, either on Instagram or Facebook, whenever you see a Junk Expo post, if you share it, tag Junk Expo in it, and you can tag a friend that you think should go to the Junk Expo. Doing any of those things will, give you an entry into winning $1,000 cash. That's it.
At the Junk Expo.
At the Junk Expo. The very first night, that's going to be given away. Because the second night, obviously, is the dump trailer giveaway. So, woo, how much fun is that going to be?
It's going to be off the damn hook. And just so you guys know, if you haven't got your tickets yet, pay attention on this Sunday. You're going to want to grab your tickets this Sunday. We got a special going on. I'm not going to say nothing yet, but this Sunday it will be announced. It will be for 5 days.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
We have a special. So listen up. Starting Sunday, listen up. And if you've been putting it off, next week would be your time to not put it off any longer. Can't wait to see you guys as well. It's going to be so much fun. Warehouse. We had a warehouse job that was probably our grossest.
I would say the first time the guy called me up, he said, hey, Matt, I need you to swing by this property because the homeless are in there. They're taking over. Do you mind going by there and taking a look at it and give me a price? I'm out here in Chicago, and this is my property I'm trying to sell. We were going to open up a cannabis club, but we never did it, and the homeless took over. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll swing on by. So I go by there, and the cops were there too. And we walk in the building, and let me tell you, it smelled like a dead damn body when we walked in there. These squatters were stealing briskets and stealing tri-tips and bringing them in the building of the warehouse, barbecuing them inside there and letting some of the meat rot there. And let me tell you, rotten meat smells horrible.
Yeah, so there was lots of that, just meat with maggots all over it. And the people were crapping in buckets, and then when the buckets got full, they're just on the floor, and there's maggots in that too.
So this was the nastiest job we ever tackled, let me tell you.
Yes.
And the first time we tackled it, I mean, we got in there and got it done, and it wasn't cheap per load. Let me tell you, we did 10 loads one day and made over $10,000 in one day. So that's the most cash we ever made in one day in the trash business, was $10,000 and some change. And let me tell you, this job was so damn nasty. The homeless kept walking up on us saying, hey, I got to grab something in here. Do you mind? And you want to be cool with the homeless people. I'm like, you know what? We're here to do a job. You got to get your stuff and get out. You guys already stripped all the copper out of this building. The guy's paying us to take all this trash away that you guys brought here, and now he has to get this stuff fixed. So they really cost him a lot of money, the homeless people.
We were extremely patient at first, but I would say about the 5th time we were called to go over, I wasn't as patient anymore.
So this is what happened. I think the first time we did like 20 loads there, and then 3 months or 6 months later, the guy calls us back again and says, hey, Matt, they're back in there. I'm like, really? He's like, do you mind swinging back by? I said, yeah, no problem. We get back there, and guess what's in there? More trash. And I mean, more trash than the first time. I remember walking in there, and Kenny was sitting on the damn couch sleeping.
Oh.
You remember that?
Yeah. Says, why not pay the homeless bums to help you load up? We did.
We did. Trust me, I paid the guys. I had Kenny out there with a blower, blowing everything. He had a full-time job for a day.
Yeah. It's frustrating because when you show up, it's just all of us. They just do this. It's so typical. Other people came and made this huge mess, and none of it is theirs.
None of it's mine.
None of it's theirs.
None of it's mine. I said, hey, Kenny, who's shitting these buckets?
It's not his shit.
It's not my shit. I said, come on, Kenny.
They keep coming over and shitting in the warehouse, and I don't know what to do.
So there were stolen vehicles on the property, stolen trailers on the property. There was so much damn trash. So that was the second time we went there. Cleaned it all up. The guy's super happy. And then what happens a year later, JoJo? Right before the Junk Expo.
Oh, we're busy there again.
We're there again. I get a phone call. Hey, Matt, they're back in there again. I'm like, are you serious? So I show up there. I'm like, how are they getting in here? And this is sad. So the way they were getting in there was there was a little window on the outside, right? And they had a ladder right there. What they were doing was sending a kid through the window to unlock the doors.
Now, it's even worse than you're thinking, because inside, super dangerous situations. Puddles of water everywhere, and the entire place is just rigged. Their electricity is rigged with things that you can't touch, and it's down and it's in the water. It's super dangerous. Like, I can't even believe somebody was sending a kid in there.
So just know the power was turned off, but someone knew how to be an electrician, because they had the gas.
Kenny
had the gas stove going.
Kenny's brilliant.
He had the laundry going. He tapped into the water in the street from the city.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So we're over there tackling it again, and let me tell you, it was a rough job, but it paid good money, and it helped us through the wintertime. So like I said before, always answer your phone, and don't be scared of them big jobs. Just charge more money and make it worth your time.
Yeah. And make sure you have certain words in your website for keywords so people can find you, because that guy was in Chicago when he did a Google search.
So the one guy was in Chicago. The very first job, the big job we got, the lady was from San Francisco. And then the second big job we got was from a realtor.
Yeah.
And the last big job that we got was a referral. So always do good work.
Yeah. Because how about the big one that we're doing in Penn Valley?
Yeah, that's a
Referral. So our latest hoarder house we've done videos on because they had the mound of diapers and right next to the front porch. But you couldn't even open up the door to the house to get in there to even begin to know how many loads it was going to be. So that house is all cleared out now. And that took us a while because, oh my gosh, it was just stuff everywhere and ruined shoes because you're walking around and all you're doing is whatever the gunk that was on the floor, was that just that much rat shit?
It was rat shit everywhere.
Rat shit so much that it just looked like the bottom of your whole, shoe walked in mud. That's how bad it was.
The house was so damn bad. We didn't see no rats in the building, no roaches, no spiders, not one live animal in there.
Not one live animal. And we were about halfway through the house when I became concerned that there should have been raccoons, skunks, squirrels, rats, mice, spiders, bugs, not one living thing in that whole house.
And the crazy part was some of the animals that were in there before we got there, they were chewing through the chemicals. Remember that? Like some of the bottles of Clorox bleach and some of the paint cans.
Yeah.
So they were hungry. They were looking for some food.
It's just, I asked the neighbors, I'm like, has this house been tinted? Was it ever tinted? And they said no. And I'm just wondering why there was no animals in the house.
So if me and the JoJo pass away in the next 3 years, just know we love you and keep watching our videos. And please tell a friend to subscribe. We're still trying to hit 100,000 subscribers before we die. I don't care if we turn 80 years old, JoJo. We're going to hit that 100,000.
It'll happen before we turn 80 because we haven't had our YouTube channel that long. And we're halfway there.
Halfway there, baby. Now, one thing I don't want you guys ever to do is think, oh, you know what? I can't charge that much. If it's a nasty, filthy, dirty job you don't want, you can charge whatever you want. Let me tell you, me and the Julio showed up to this one job in the hood, and it was nasty. There was actually mice moving around in the damn room, JoJo.
Oh,
and
yeah. I wasn't with you on that one.
Let me tell you, I walked in there. I seen mice going through by the windowsill. They're over here. We charged $2,000 and something to load up the dump truck.
So
and when let me tell you, when we dumped the load, I seen mice scattering. It was scattering everywhere. It was bad. Someone says, I'm 6 months in. What's going on?
And wondering when it's a good time to get a dump trailer.
So the best time to get a dump trailer is when you have the money in the bank and you can reinvest and afford it. The best thing I ever did was get that button. You don't want to be touching stuff twice, loading it up and unloading it again. That's the last thing you want to do. So whenever you can afford it, get us something that dumps, and trust me, you'll be so damn happy.
Yeah. So, tuck your money away, and until you have enough money to just buy it outright. And you're getting enough calls to where oh my gosh, I could get so much more done if I had a dump trailer, because it makes it so much quicker. You can dump it and then you're on to the next job. So 6 months in, leave a comment. How's business going? And how are people finding you the most? I'm curious about that.
Now leave a comment. What's the biggest job you guys ever tackled? I've been trying to get this 6K figure job. I'm manifesting it right now. We want to land a huge job. It hasn't happened yet, but I see it coming, JoJo.
You do?
6-figure job.
It'll come.
It's going to keep us busy for a while, let me tell you.
That'll keep us busy for a long while. We had a we talked about that already.
We talked about that, JoJo.
That was going to be the last thing we talked about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
You got nothing else to say? So what would you say is the craziest thing we ever found at a job? What would you say?
Craziest thing?
The craziest thing. I'm not talking about a dildo underneath the bed. I'm not
That's not
talking
crazy.
about a box
That's
full.
not crazy.
Yeah, what's crazy? I know. Guerneville.
Oh yeah, but I thought you didn't want to, because we bring that up often.
Okay.
That's the craziest story with it.
Okay,
though.
what's the craziest thing?
Well, now we got to tell them for the ones that
All
didn't know.
right, let's go ahead. Keep it short. Keep it short.
Okay, so we are one of the craziest things we ever found.
Someone says it's too late to start in Sonoma County.
You'd be up against us. But you wouldn't be the only ones up against us. We have a lot of competition here. But a lot of competition. And we're really cool with our competition.
Someone says that's what we're doing right now, using U-Hauls right now. We are saving for a button, laugh out loud, based in St. Louis. Right on. Get out there, get that money, stack that money, and enjoy the journey. Because trust me, I hand unloaded a whole lot of trash, and now life is a lot easier. You see all that trash right there? Yeah, a lot of trash.
And, I agree with Matt to really enjoy the journey, because once you get to your goal, you'll set another one, because you're always setting them. But it's so, you'll really enjoy looking back and remembering those days, because Matt and I do that all the time. We had our dirt job.
Oh, gosh.
We didn't have that down. So really, really hot, middle of the day, summertime, at least 100 degrees, maybe 108. It was really hot. And it was just Matt and I. And a man wanted 2 inches of dirt. We were fresh junk removal people. He wanted 2 inches of dirt removed so he could pour, cement. He was doing a patio.
Oh, hell no.
And we're like, 2 inches? That's nothing. We could do that. And so we had the dirt was like hard clay. Matt's using a rototiller that's like 30 years old, blades super dull, and he's rototilling, trying to soften up the stuff, and I'm shoveling. And we just had our utility trailer at the time. And so we're loading up all this dirt. I'm shoveling all this dirt in. Matt's rototilling, and then he's helping shovel. And then we're going to the dump. And what do we have to do? Shovel it back out. I was covered in dirt. I really wish I could find those pictures we took, because it's like 108 degrees, sweaty, dirt all over us. And then we have to go back because we're not finished.
The worst job in the world.
Worst job ever. Dirt is, we say no to dirt. We don't do dirt anymore.
Now, my Uncle Happy John out there in Arizona asked what we charge for that Forever 21 job. I do believe it was like 17 loads or 20 loads. We got paid. We're in the teens for sure on that job. And one thing we messed up on is there was a bunch of stuff we could have resold at that job.
Yes.
Everything I did bring home sold that day or the next day. So
super fast.
All those racks and stuff that we scrapped, we could have sold all that stuff. So if you're out there and you land a job where there's a bunch of racks and stuff like that.
Like clothing racks. There were so many clothing racks and shelves. I kept a couple of them.
Bring them home. They will go so fast.
Yes, absolutely. Because you have people that the whole time we were doing it, I was like, I wish we had a thrift store. If only we had a thrift store, man, it would have been a godsend, because it was all the racks that you put clothes on and shelves that you put shoes on. And
so the lady that came and bought a few items saw everything I had in the garage and bought everything. So it was like, damn, I should have got all those mannequins, all that stuff.
They had a store. Yep, they had a store.
You never said nothing about the craziest job ever.
Yeah, that's right, because I got sidetracked. So we are in Guerneville, and if you don't know that, it's pretty out there in the country. It's kind of near the river and the ocean, and it's out in the boondocks. And Julio and I are cleaning up. Matt went to the dump, to come back. While Matt was gone, Julio calls me over and he goes, "Hey, there's something in a bag. It gives me the creeps. It's really, really heavy, and it feels weird." And so I go over there and we go to pick it up, and I'm like, oh, that feels really weird. And when we go to open it, I seen dog hair and a blanket. And I thought, oh, okay, this is probably, I think, somebody's pet that has died. And, Matt's used to like dead animals. So we'll have him tackle it. And so when Matt comes back.
That sounds horrible, JoJo.
Well, I mean,
Matt's used to dead animals.
He hunts and stuff. And he just.
That sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're used to dead animals.
Yeah, I'm used to dead animals.
So as soon as Matt comes back, Julio and I call him over there. And, Matt glances in it and he's like, oh, we won't open this here because I don't want the clients to see because, yeah, it feels like it's something dead for sure.
But I want to make sure it wasn't like a Jeffrey Dahmer dead body or something like that. I'm like, we got to open it at the dumps.
Yeah, we're definitely opening it at the dumps. And so we go to the dump, we dump the load, and then the bag, we rip it open. And it was one of those real life looking sex dolls
with a little mini skirt. And that thing was worth a lot of money. I actually put it on eBay and sold it for $5,000.
Did not do that.
I'm just kidding.
It was just, the whole thing was.
It was creepy, kind of.
It was really creepy because of it almost looked like something a serial killer would do.
It looked like a younger person. Really, it did.
So I wasn't going to bring that up.
It did.
It was
a small little body with a mini skirt.
I wasn't going to say that. But it was very creepy, very weird, and abnormal.
That was the most craziest find ever. Let me tell you, that guy was a weirdo. So what happened was we're cleaning up the property for his mother. And I think he knew his mom was coming, so he had to hide his doll and threw it in a garbage bag and put it behind his shed. And when we were cleaning up the property, we found it that way. So he was hiding it from his mom. He didn't want his mom to know that he was doing the doll, JoJo.
That's just gross.
That's gross.
Gross.
Find a real person out there. So many dating sites. Come on now.
Whoops, my biggest job was $1,200 with a 12-foot utility trailer. No sides. Well, good for you.
Right on, right on.
I'm telling you, I absolutely love junk removal, whether you do it on the side or it's your full-time hustle. You can make so much money very quickly. And people are so happy when you show up. They're happy when they watch you help them clear their space. And when you leave, they can't thank you enough. Like you've lifted, all this crappy crap from their shoulders.
And one thing you always want to do is treat your customers like gold. Don't ever be rude to customers ever. It's just not the way you do business. I actually seen something today I didn't really like. I'm like, damn, I can't believe people talk to their customers like that. So treat your customers like gold and they will refer you work. And that's how we landed our last big job. The lady heard we did good work, and guess what? That's how we got the job.
Yeah. And just really in anything in life, if you always just treat others in kindness, it doesn't even have to be in business, but just be good and good will come back to you. Let's see. Hey, Matt and JoJo, when do you get that 6-figure job? Would you get help from your competitors or would you try to do it yourself with 2 trucks and the Julio? We actually do a lot of stuff just ourselves. You would be amazed what you can accomplish with a few people in 2 trucks. 2 trucks has made it possible to get big jobs done so much quicker.
Let me tell you like this. When I land that 6-figure job, I'm calling my daddy up. I'm calling my mommy up. I'm calling my stepdaddy up. I'm calling my stepmother up. I'm calling my cousins I don't like up. I'm calling everyone up. We all going to tackle that job and get some money. I'm just kidding. I ain't calling no one up.
Yeah. I don't know if we got a really, really big job that we thought, I don't know if we can do this because
I would tag team with someone.
Yeah,
for sure.
because with Happy Valley, that one that we brought in a couple of haulers.
And that's one thing you want to do is always be cool with your competition. Actually, Paul Talia shot me a job today. It's going to be a good job if we lock it in. I actually shoot other haulers work all the time. And when you need help, guess what? They're there for you. And you guys can always make money together. There's no reason to be like, oh, I don't want to deal with them. They're my competition. Don't look at business that way. You can make a lot of money with your competition. I shoot a lot of guys work and they don't even know it.
Yeah. We'd probably bring Paul in if we got a 6-figure job.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll call Paul up. I'll call Todd up. Oh, yeah, we're going to get this shit done.
Yeah, we're gonna work and then we'll have a barbecue when it's done.
I bring the Traeger over there and start smoking that brisket there.
Let's see, we go above and beyond for our customers. It's the most important thing, like especially, and if you're hiring somebody, I would say customer service. That's how they talk to customers, treat customers, and just their overall attitude is that's like number one. I would prefer that over working hard.
I'm gonna tell you how cool we are with the competition out here. We're really cool. We don't trip off of it. I'm actually going fishing tomorrow with 5 other junk removal companies.
Yeah.
Because we collaborate, we don't hate.
Yeah, and you'll get so much more accomplished. Like Matt said, you can refer them. We actually got a phone call today from a person that just really wanted guidance because they knew that it wasn't an area we serviced, but it was somebody, from the Mendocino County, and we referred somebody that we kind of know that tackles Mendocino County. So
back road hauling, if you're watching, I gave someone your phone number for a trailer they needed removed. So yeah, you got to be cool with your competition.
Yeah, super important. Leave a comment, let us know. Just say Expo if you're coming to the Junk Expo. So I'd like to know who out here is listening that's coming to the Junk Expo.
And this is our best find we found this week. And last week, it was the Yeti bags. Check that out.
That is really cool. I like things that are old. Modern Motivation Minds Expo, right on. Monacan, right on.
So we'll probably make a video next week on what we get from that lady's house. If she lets us take it right then.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
But I think that's it, JoJo. What do you think?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Premier Hauling is coming to the expo.
Right on, brother.
That's great. So much fun. So much fun. And I can't believe it's not one day, but it's 2 days. 2 days of incredible speakers, of networking, of being able to, see the vendors, talk to insurance people if you need like a lower insurance rate or you just have questions. Because I don't know, the insurance and the business of stuff like that can be challenging.
And the cool part is too, my buddy's giving away a $10,000 dump trailer on day 2. I'm giving $1,000 cash away on day 1, plus some other giveaways. I'm not going to tell you quite yet what it is, but yeah, it's going down for sure.
Yeah, super, super excited to see everybody at the Junk Expo. And if you don't have your tickets yet, well, stay tuned. And we got some news for you for next week. So
no, it's going to be this Sunday. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, pay attention. This Sunday, we got something special we're going to announce.
Yeah. Yep.
And with that being said, I think we is done for the day. What do you think?
Yes. You have to go to bed early.
I ain't going to bed. I'm staying up all night.
He gets up so early to go fishing.
I do, yeah. I'll be in bed tonight around 8 o'clock.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Waking up at 3 o'clock.
That's horrible.
That's not bad. I'm hanging around with a bunch of junk haulers, JoJo.
No, you're going to have a
catching
great day.
Fish. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, you guys are going to have.
We're going to be hooking and booking jobs all at the same time. Hooking and booking.
That's true.
Yeah. So hopefully you like this video. Make sure you smash that like button. Hopefully we see you at the Junk Expo 2025. And if we don't see you, we still love you.
It's a Super Bowl of junk removal.
And stay tuned for our next video. We're dropping this Sunday. Will be how we get realtors on the team and how we do all that stuff.
Yeah, that it's how we get realtors on the team. Lots of tips for you, and that's coming on Sunday. How far are we from San Francisco Airport? About 45 minutes?
I would say 45 minutes.
Yep, 45 minutes.
And with that being said, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Get out there, make that money. Always answer your phone, because if I didn't answer my phone, guess what? These big jobs never would have came through.
Never would have happened.
Never would have happened.
And we hope that a really big job comes in for all of you.
And with that being said, we'll catch you on the next one, and we love all you guys. And if you're in Sonoma County and you can't tackle that big job, you know who to call. Call Matt and the JoJo and the Julio. We'll tackle that.